Hello, welcome to another review. My name is Daniel Gibson, and today we're talking about Run All Night. This movie kind of falls in that whole typecast level of Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson plays a very similar character, but this time he does it a little bit differently, and I really enjoy this type. He plays a mobster, well, an ex-mobster, who's kind of living with the regrets of the life he's chosen. Because of the life he's chosen, everybody he loves, everybody he cares about has left him. He's alone with no one, you know, and the only friend he has is his best friend, who's the mob boss who he used to work for, basically. And he's kind of protected by this guy and everything. And then he has to kind of choose two sides. He has his mob boss best friend and then his son. And his son is basically on the outside of all this. He's a guy who's trying to do it right, trying to live it right, and do it the best way he can. And then Liam Neeson, his son, is basically thrown into this when he's basically witnesses a murder, and then basically the mob boss's son tries to kill him. Stuff goes on. Basically, then Liam Neeson has to fight his best friend and everything he's ever cared for to protect his son, who he's trying to prevent from becoming the very monster he regrets being. And I think that's the coolest thing in this movie, is that they did a really good job at showing Liam Neeson over here and how he is a guy who just is literally, like I said, filled with regrets, wanting to show that, you know, wanting to prevent his son from becoming the monster he is. And then we see his best friend, who is this, you know, still in the game, still doing all these things, and his son we see is kind of a monster in a lot of ways. And so we see these two parallels: a man living life and just going on the way he does, and Liam Neeson, a guy who's trying to prevent this from happening again. And it's a really cool feature and a really cool a proponent of this movie that I really enjoyed. The movie does a really good job of pulling you into this relationship between Liam Neeson and his son. They're these two guys who are just like so butting heads, but yet Liam Neeson's trying so hard to make sure his son turns out right and is protected and all these things. And you know, they did a good job of not just spitting out another movie just to make money. They really worked on this movie. In fact, I would without question say that me and my wife, we both agreed that this is the best Liam Neeson movie I've ever seen. You know, we loved every minute of this movie. The movie just it's what I wanted. It was a little bit harder Taken 3, a little bit more gritty, and you know, it's what I wanted from movies like, say, A Walk Among the Tombstones, which was just a little too much, a little too creepy, a little too dark. This movie kind of found that balance of just a little bit more, almost, for lack of a better term, I guess I'd say believable Taken, and you see this whole world created and this dilemma which this guy is put in, you know. And I think it's really interesting how they did this, and they kept it going so well. You know, as far as the parental guide goes, the movie is, like I said, it's a grittier Taken 3, so obviously there was a little bit of blood and gore and everything, but it wasn't too much. You know, some movies I feel like do that stuff for the sake of doing it, and this movie, it really did it for the sake of understanding that this is a dark world, a place in which bad things happen, and people have to almost give up their humanity to live this life, and we see that. You know, with that also comes, there was a few dirty jokes and everything, but there was no sexual content in the movie. There was also, you know, quite a bit of cussing, but not over the top. It all happens so quick most of the time that I mean, honestly, you don't even catch it. It just happens. They say it real quick. But there was language. Without question, I recommend this movie, though. Obviously, it's for older audiences. It's rated R. It's not to go see with your kids necessarily. It's one that, you know, you go with your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, whatever. You go see this movie. But I definitely recommend it. We're gonna give it a 7 on the 5-stone scale. Without question, enjoyable. I would love to have it in my collection. Based on just pure action movie merits, I would give it a 7.5. But on a total movie, in the grand scheme of things, it gets a 7. So let me know in the comments, are you going to go see this movie? Are you just not interested in another Taken typecast movie that Liam Neeson's just playing the same old character? Are you totally interested? You're ready for another one of this? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, folks, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be back next video. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.